friends, it's Miss Casey. Today we are going to make some Play-Doh and we are going to use the super secret Kindy One recipe. I'm going to teach you guys how to do it and then we're going to do a fun activity with the Play-Doh afterwards, and I'm setting a challenge for all of you at home to send some pictures into us. So we'll see how we're going to do this today. So there's some ingredients that you guys are going to need. The first one is flour, the second is salt. You'll need some cream of tartar, you'll need some food colouring, some oil, and I also have some boiling water. So your mummies and daddies are going to need to help you with that. I don't want any of you burning your hands. Now there are 3 other things that you are going to need. You will need a tablespoon, a teaspoon, and a measuring cup. You'll also need a big bowl to mix all of your ingredients in. So the first thing that we are going to measure out today is 2 cups of flour. Jackie, you can help me count them. I'm going to tip them straight into this measuring cup. Trying not to spill too much on the table. Oops. Alright. So there is 2 cups into our big bowl. Fantastic. Now, the next thing we are going to need today is 3/4 of a cup of table salt. So I'm going to crouch down for this one so that I can make sure I am measuring this properly. Once again, trying not to spill too much of it. There's 3/4 of a cup. I will dump that into there. Alright, next up we are going to need 4 teaspoons of cream of tartar. Open that one up there. We count them together. I like to do big teaspoons, I think it helps. We do 1, 2, 3, and 4 teaspoons of cream of tartar. Fantastic. Now you can give that a little bit of a mix with your spoon. All of the ingredients to begin combining together. It should look just like this. Alright. Once they are all mixed up, you are going to need 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. 1 and 2 tablespoons of veggie oil straight in there. And then this is when you are going to need your mum or your dad's help with some boiling water. So I'm going to just make sure our kettle is boiling, press the button. Might need to do a little dance while we're waiting. While we're waiting, we can choose what colour we'd like our Play-Doh to be. I have some red, I have some yellow, I have green, and I have some blue. But I think today I'm going to make my color monster green. Alright, so I'm going to take 2 cups of boiling water straight into this cup, very, very carefully. Straight in there like that. Now, teacher's trick. Put your food colouring into the boiling water. So, just about that much. I do 2 or 3 drops of food colouring. And then just give it a little mix until the water is a nice colour for you. Then, ever so carefully, I'm going to tip my boiling green water into my Play-Doh. So, the reason I like to use boiling water is that there is nothing worse than grainy Play-Doh. So if you use boiling water as opposed to lukewarm water, what that's going to do is it's going to dissolve the salt a bit better and make it feel less grainy. Now once you've got all of those ingredients in your bowl, you want to give that a big mix. Now, I like to mix mine with my hands, but because it's so hot, I'm using a spoon to start with. So it's always a good place to start. Give it a mix, give it a mix. Once your Play-Doh looks like it's starting to combine nicely, what you're going to want to do is put a little bit of flour onto the table or the surface that you're working on. I'm going to pop some flour onto the art table. Hope I'm not making too much of a mess. Feel like I'm cooking pizza or pasta. Can't eat Play-Doh though. And then I'm going to scoop my Play-Doh out and onto the surface. Just make still a little hot. That's okay. And then you just want to knead it. What that extra flour is doing is just making sure it's not sticking. Sometimes, not usually with this recipe, but sometimes if you add a little bit too much oil or a little bit too much water, you might need to add some more flour to help with that. If you are finding your Play-Doh is too dry, do not add more flour to it, just give it a really good knead. Now, this Play-Doh isn't feeling too sticky, which tells me that it's a good consistency. You can see that it's rolling really nicely for me. It's really, really nice Play-Doh. See how nice and smooth that is. It's not lumpy, which is exactly what you want in a Play-Doh. Nothing worse than lumpy Play-Doh. All right, friends, so that is our dough done. Now I'm going to show you what we are going to do with our dough for our challenge.
A few moments later.
Okay, friends, I'm back and I have all of the things that we are going to need for our Play-Doh challenge. Now, I know that lots of you have been enjoying the Colour Monster story in your classrooms lately, and those of you who have will know that the Colour Monster says that when he is feeling green, he is feeling calm. That's why I chose to make my Play-Doh green today. So, our challenge for you is to go out into your garden or down to the park and find some natural resources. So I have some sticks, lots of different shapes and sizes. I have some, I'm not exactly sure what these are called, but my mum used to call these monkey's tails, but they're a little bit spiky. I have a seed pod. I have a banksia pod. Some other little bits and bobs, a gum nut, and some shells. What I want you all to do at home is to make your Play-Doh the colour that your Colour Monster is feeling. So my Colour Monster is green, my Colour Monster is calm. And then using your Play-Doh, make a Colour Monster and add all of his features, the craziest features you can think of, with all of your natural resources. My Colour Monster looks a little bit like a snowman right now, but if I add a gum nut to his head, maybe if I lift his body up there, I can give him some arms. I could give him some shells for eyes. I could give him 1, 2 legs, and I could give him spiky horns, just like this. maybe I could use some sticks for some extra legs on his sides. What do you think? Does he look like a good colour monster? I'm really excited to see what you guys can create at home. Make sure you take some photos and send them through to us or upload them up onto Lift. We are missing you guys heaps and can't wait to see you all soon. Bye friends.